The metallic clink of the phone hitting the garage floor echoed like a gunshot in the silence. My hands trembled as I stared at the sleek black device that had tumbled from behind Mark's car seat, a phone I'd never seen before. "What the hell is this?" I whispered to the empty garage, my voice cracking. Mark was supposed to be at his weekend golf trip. I was just grabbing jumper cables from his car when my fingers brushed against something cold and hidden. Now, holding this stranger's phone, my heart hammered against my ribs like a caged bird. The screen lit up with a notification. One missed call from Dad. Dad. Mark's father had been dead for 3 years. My fingers shook as I scrolled through the call log. Dad. 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 Over and over, dozens of calls spanning months. Each entry felt like a knife twisting deeper into my chest. "This can't be real," I muttered, sinking onto the cold concrete. "This has to be some mistake." But the text messages told a different story. Screenshots of our bank statements. Photos of our house. Pictures of me leaving for work, taken from across the street. And then, the message that made my blood turn to ice. Phase 1 complete. She suspects nothing. Ready for Phase 2. The response came from Dad, perfect. The life insurance policy activates next month. Make it look accidental. I dropped the phone like it was on fire. My husband, my Mark, who brought me coffee every morning, who held me when I cried, was planning to kill me. Nausea rolled through my stomach in waves. 3 years of marriage. 3 years of I love you and gentle kisses goodnight. All of it is a lie. All of it leading to this moment, this horrifying discovery that I was living with a predator. The garage door suddenly groaned to life behind me. Car headlights swept across the concrete as Mark's SUV pulled in 2 days early from his trip. I scrambled to my feet, shoving the phone into my jacket pocket just as his car door slammed shut. "Honey. What are you doing out here?" Mark's voice carried that familiar warmth that now made my skin crawl. "Just getting jumper cables," I managed, my voice barely steady. "Sarah's car won't start." He walked toward me with that easy smile I'd fallen in love with, and I had to fight every instinct not to run. This man, this stranger wearing my husband's face, had been planning my death while I slept beside him. "You look pale, babe. Everything okay?" "Everything's fine," I lied, backing toward the house. I should call Sarah back. But as I turned, I felt his eyes boring into my back. He knew. Somehow, he knew I'd found something. I waited until he was in the shower to make the call. My hands shook as I dialed the number saved as Dad in the mysterious phone. A gravelly voice answered on the second ring. "About time. Is it done?" "Who is this?" I whispered. Silence. Then, "Who the hell is this? Where's Mark?" "I'm Mark's wife. And I found his phone. I know everything." A low chuckle sent chills down my spine. Well. Looks like our boy got sloppy. You know what happens to loose ends, sweetheart." The line went dead. My whole body was shaking now. This wasn't just Mark. This was bigger. Organized. Professional. When Mark emerged from the bathroom, towel around his waist, I was sitting on our bed with his secret phone in my lap. "Looking for this?" I held it up. The color drained from his face. For a moment, the mask slipped completely, and I saw something cold and calculating in his eyes that I'd never noticed before. "Emma, you don't understand." "I understand perfectly." My voice was steadier than I felt. "The life insurance policy. The accidental death. How long have you been planning this, Mark? He took a step forward, and I stood up quickly. Don't come any closer. Baby, listen. Don't call me that. The words exploded out of me. You were going to kill me. For money. Turning point. Mark's shoulders sagged, and for a moment, he looked almost relieved. You have no idea how deep this goes, Emma. If I don't do this, they'll kill us both. I owe people. Bad people. This was the only way out. The vulnerability in his voice almost broke me. Almost. So you decided I should die for your mistakes. I thought maybe I could find another way. Maybe disappear before you murdered your wife. He flinched like I'd slapped him. I never wanted this. But now that you know. His voice hardened. Now we're both dead. The room felt smaller suddenly, the walls closing in. Mark wasn't the only threat anymore. And he was right about one thing: knowledge was dangerous. There has to be another way, I said quietly. There is. Mark met my eyes. We fake your death. Together. Tonight. 6 hours later, I watched from the woods as our house erupted in flames. The official story would be simple: Emma Richardson died in a tragic house fire while her husband was out of town. The accelerant would point to an electrical fault. The dental records from the morgue would match Mark's criminal contacts had arranged everything. It's done, Mark said into the phone, his voice hollow. She's dead. From my hiding spot, I recorded every word. Good, came the gravelly voice. Your debt is cleared. Pleasure doing business. But Mark hadn't hung up. Instead, he added quietly, you should know my wife wasn't the only one with life insurance. The silence on the other end was deafening. What are you saying? The voice demanded. I'm saying Emma wasn't the target. You were. Mark's voice was ice cold now. My wife's been recording this conversation. She's also been in contact with the FBI for the past 4 hours. I stepped out of the shadows, holding up my phone. The recording app showed 6 hours and 17 minutes of evidence. Game over, I called out. As the FBI vehicle surrounded our property, Mark turned to me with something like pride in his eyes. I'm sorry, he said simply. For all of it. For not being brave enough to come to you first. I nodded, watching as federal agents arrested the man I'd thought was trying to kill me, the same man who'd ultimately saved my life by choosing truth over fear. We could have found another way, I said. If you just trusted me. I know that now. The flames reflected in his eyes as they led him away, not to freedom, but to witness protection, to a chance at redemption. The criminals who'd threatened us would spend decades in prison. And I would rebuild, knowing that sometimes the people who hurt us aren't evil, they're just terrified. Trust, I learned that night, isn't just about love. It's about courage. The courage to believe that the people who care about you will fight for you, not sacrifice you. And sometimes, the greatest betrayal isn't the lie itself, it's the assumption that you're not strong enough to handle the truth. Standing in the ashes of our old life, I finally understood, I was strong enough for anything.